me just I'll go through some of these bullet points for the ease of use. All of the devices district-wide will all have the exact same interface. So if a faculty member is at the elementary school and has to print something out or has sent something over because they know they're going to be over in the elementary school for some reason, the device looks exactly the same. So they're going to be able to walk up, and once you become comfortable with the interface, it's going to be the same in the district office, it's going to be the same in the elementary, it's going to be the same in the high school. So there's some continuity as far as what the device does and what it looks like throughout the entire fleet. The only difference to that would be the large production machine, the 907, which Sarah would operate. That one does have a little bit different interface, but again, all of the work group type devices are all going to have the same interface. So there's some ease of use there. So the cost savings, ultimately we're going to eliminate the need for you to purchase and continue purchasing the toners for your printers. All Icon service contracts are inclusive of toner, parts, service, and supplies. So ultimately you make a phone call if the machine needs repair and we come out and fix it. If you need toner, you make a phone call and we ship out toner to you as well. You're going to save electricity associated with operating multiple devices. All Icon work group devices are ENERGY STAR certified. You'll reduce district resources devoted to the repairs of printers and managing and ordering toners. Again, all Icon contracts are all inclusive of toner, parts, supplies, and service. All fax-enabled systems include fax forwarding to a folder or email. So ultimately, if a fax comes in, we can set it up to go to a folder rather than actually being printed, or someone's email address instead of being printed. So there's some cost savings ability there by keeping things digital rather than actually printing out a fax. And obviously that reduces the consumption of paper as well. All Icon devices allow for user codes and or departmental codes for tracking usage. And again, I spoke to that, about protecting the ability to print in color or be able to track usage based on user code. As far as some efficiencies in the workflow, you'll have the ability to scan to email or a network folder. So teachers, if they have something that they want to present to students, whether they want to migrate that onto one of your smart boards, they can actually take that hard copy, scan it to their email, and then open up their email box, and they have that as a digital file now to manipulate or manage or integrate into a program or a presentation on the smart boards. The locked print and hold print, which is what I was talking about, where they can send it to the machine, but it doesn't actually print it out yet. So there's some management from an efficiency standpoint there. So you can release the printed pages at a later time. That also allows for projects not to get mixed together. So one person doesn't print something and then somebody prints something on top of that and somebody prints something on top of that, and then somebody walks off with the whole stack and they've got 6 people's printed documents. There's also a locked print functionality where ultimately that requires a password. So if you did send student records or something that you're wanting to discuss with a parent, maybe the teacher's out of toner in their little printer that's within their classroom, they can actually send that to the multifunctional device with a password, and the only way that anybody can print that is if they have the password to release the file. Otherwise, it's completely encrypted and safe on the machine. There's also a document server. So ultimately, these machines are like the computers, and they have the ability to store documents on them directly. So again, if you have forms that you consistently need parents to fill out, or new student forms, you can actually save those on the device itself. So rather than having to go to a computer and send that to a printer, you can just select the document you want to print and hit start, and it prints it for you. So there's the ability to hold on to those frequently used documents on the device itself. In all cases, there's more paper capacity in all of my recommended devices. So it's not a really big thing, but again, it's that, you're not going to the printer and constantly having to put new paper in it because it only holds 250 sheets. All of these devices hold more paper than all of the single function devices separately. And you've got new technology with faster processing and output speeds, and then there's that remote management and the ability to track volume from that at remote appliance. So I also provided a sample of, and this is where I spoke to the cost savings is a conservative cost savings estimate, because when a printer manufacturer like Hewlett-Packard, like HP, which is the majority of the printers you guys have, when they say that you're going to buy a toner cartridge, and we're probably all familiar with this with printers, that if you have a printer at home, you buy a toner cartridge and it's $80. And they say, well, you're gonna get 5,000 sheets of paper out of this toner cartridge. That's based on a 5% fill. This is an industry standard for the number of pages that they estimate you're going to be able to print out of a toner cartridge. So all of my numbers are based on a 5% fill, and this is a representation of 5% fill. And I think you'll probably all agree that we, unless you're doing a fax cover page or something, we're probably printing a lot more than 5% fill. But all of my numbers are based on this, because that's the industry standard for how many pages you can get out of a toner cartridge. This is a representation of a 24% fill. So in other words, it's using 24% of the page is covered in toner. So I think, somewhere between probably 12 and 24 is more likely the typical page that's being printed off at the district. But again, all these numbers are used based on that 5% fill. So it is a very conservative estimate. So the last page, this page here, and you've got a lot more in your packet because I've got all the brochures and everything in there too. So this last page illustrates your current Icon lease. This very top line is what you're currently paying for your Icon equipment and related service. And the way the service works is you're charged a cost per copy. So every single copy is a certain cost, and that's all inclusive of service and toner. So we've got in the second column here, you've got your current Icon copier fleet and your 13 single function printers. The top line is at $2344.78, so that's what your current average monthly payment is to Icon based on the number of copies that you print every month. And the $976 is your current estimated cost for all the toners that you're purchasing for all of the printers. So all those little printers that are sitting around, like the little HPs, those are costing approximately $976 a month for you to supply those with toner. So your average cost per copy under your current agreement is .0059, so a little less than, or a little more than half a penny for your copier fleet. Your average cost for all your printing, all your printed pages on those single function printers is .018. So you're almost paying 2 cents a page for every single page that's printed on one of your single function HP or Dell printers. And your color impressions, your color pages are costing almost 10 cents a page.